Hi everyone, welcome to Northern Zen Yoga. My name is Sandra, and today I'd like to talk to you a little bit about meditating. Now, many people have a desire to learn how to meditate. And even though they are very interested and very eager to learn how to meditate, they often fail. And it's not unusual, especially when you're first starting out, to feel like you're not really getting it. So what I thought I would do in a series of videos is to explain to you how meditation works and also to give you some exercises to help you to improve your ability to focus and concentrate on the moment. Because really, meditating is about being in the moment. It's not about trying to stop your brain from thinking. It's about being present. It's about being here. It's about being in the now. There was a wonderful book that was written a few years ago by the author Eckhart Tolle that was called The Power of Now. And really what his book was about, it was about trying to get people to understand that if you dwell on the past all the time, that serves nothing, except for maybe just to teach you a lesson that you shouldn't repeat. And if you're always worrying about what's going to happen in the future, then you're living your life without purpose, because we don't know what's going to happen in the future. There's so many variables that could happen, that could change at any moment. Right now, we're going through a period of time where many of you may be quarantined at the time of this particular video, and that we didn't expect to happen, and it's thrown a bit of a monkey wrench into our plans. So remember, being in the now is really where you want to be. You want to be present. You want to be able to experience what's going on this moment, this second, and this breath. And really, yoga tries to keep us in that place. Quite often when we're doing yoga, we talk to you about feel your body. Feel where you're making contact with your mat. Maybe it's your feet, maybe it's your bottom. Feel where your clothing is touching your skin. Feel the air moving through your nostrils as you breathe. Those things that we're talking to you about, they are all types of meditation. Meditation to bring you in to the present, to this moment. So for somebody who is not used to spending time in the now, you need to start to practice. And it's not hard. It's not hard to practice. It's easy. It can be done daily. It can be done several times a day. It just takes a few moments of concentration and focus on an object. The first exercise I'm going to give you is going to be a cup of tea. You can also drink coffee. Coffee's fine. Any way you like it. Cappuccino, lattes, green tea, black tea, herbal teas. It doesn't really matter, but don't put too much sugar in it. As a matter of fact, if you can do it without sugar at all, fantastic. If you can't, and you do need to have it lightly sweetened, try using some honey or maple syrup as opposed to putting in white sugar into your drink, because the problem with adding sugars to your drinks is that it immediately goes into your bloodstream. And that starts to excite your brain. And what we're trying to do is calm your brain down, not pump it up. So adding the sugar in there is kind of counterproductive. So if you can manage it, if you can swallow it without any sugar in it, that's the best way to go. If you really can't do it without your usual 2 spoonfuls of sugar or sweetener in there, then instead have a cup of warm water. It's the same process. It's really not about the tea or the drink itself. It's about what it comes in. So find the nicest mug or cup that you have to have your drink. And we're going to spend a few moments just appreciating what that cup looks like. So you have a look at it, the color, the shape, the pattern that's sitting along the ridge of the cup on the outside, perhaps the pattern that's in the saucer, if you're holding a cup of tea with saucer. And if it's a mug, is there decorations on that mug? Is there writing on the mug that's important to you? And just while you're doing that, just focus for a moment on your breathing. I breathe in and I breathe out. You're looking at the cup of tea or coffee and you're breathing. That's all we're doing. And if a thought comes into your brain about something that you should be doing or ought to be doing or could be doing, just push that away. Just push that thought away just for a moment and instead go back to focusing on your breathing. Breathing in and breathing out. We're going to pick the cup up now. We're going to grab it by its handle and just take a moment to feel what that contact feels like on our skin. And as we pick up the cup, notice the weight. How does the weight feel in your hand? How does it feel as it moves up your arm as your muscles respond to bearing that weight for a moment or two? Because we're not going to drink it right away. We're going to look at it a little further. So feel where your fatigue may be starting to already set in. Gaze down at the cup. Look at the liquid. It's in there. What color is it? Can you see to the bottom of the cup if you're drinking something like an herbal tea or a green tea? And look at the inside pattern of the cup. Every time your mind starts to want to wander someplace, just take an inhale and an exhale. Consciously breathing. Feel the breath moving in and moving out. And we're going to move that cup now closer to our mouth. And we're going to take a sniff of the aroma. Breathe in that aroma now. And what does that cup of tea smell like? What is your coffee smelling like? Close your eyes for a second and just savor the scent that it's giving off. And then very, very carefully and slowly bring the cup up to your mouth and press it against your lips, getting ready to take a sip, but don't take a sip yet. Just take a moment to feel what the contact feels like. When you're ready and you've experienced that, tip the cup enough to take your first sip. Did you swallow very quickly? The next sip you're going to take, you're going to hold that in your mouth for a few moments and experience the warmth of the liquid, what the liquid tastes like. And then when you swallow, feel it going down your throat, down into your stomach. Can you still feel the warmth? Continue to drink your tea, taking slow, long, steady sips. See if you can experience what it feels like for it to travel down through your throat to your esophagus, down the esophagus into your stomach. Can you feel where the liquid made contact with your stomach? Every time your mind wants to wander from these experiences, just focus again on your breathing. Breathing in and breathing out. And you know, it's quite all right to tell yourself mentally that I'll think about that later. When those thoughts come drifting in, just make a conscious effort to tell your mind you'll think about it later. Yeah, I'll think about that later. Instead, right now, I'm thinking about my cup of tea. After a period of time, make sure you put your cup back down into the saucer or on the table if you prefer. And you can set everything down on the table and take a few moments to close your eyes and just breathe. perhaps take a moment to hear what's going on around the room. If you're alone and it's nice and quiet, and I recommend when you begin this process to have a quiet place to have your drink, see if you can hear sounds, ambient noises from outside perhaps. Or maybe you can actually hear your clock ticking. If you're sitting in the kitchen, can you hear the sound of the motor of your refrigerator when it kicks on? And if you can spend even a few seconds in that place, you've just meditated. Meditation takes practice. So these series of videos I'm going to do are going to be to help you learn to take the steps and how to quiet your mind. Because without a quiet mind, you're not going to be successful ever in trying to meditate. You'll spend all your time being upset with yourself because you're thinking, because your mind starts to wander. So, practice drinking your tea, practice doing it mindfully, and doing it in the present. And then the next time we get together, I'll give you another exercise to do on your way to learning how to meditate. Bye for now. Namaste. If you enjoyed this video or any of the videos that I have for you, please press subscribe and like us and share us with all of your friends. Bye for now. Till next time.